Good evening, I'm Jeff Lyons. It is 9 o'clock now, time for the 14First Alert Weather Show at 9 o'clock. Let me get this set up over here. And glad you're here. I'm glad we're not having severe weather tonight for a change, although we did have some showers and a few thunderstorms over western Kentucky earlier and some light rain across the tri-state. But we're in the clear. We're not going to have any more nonsense here tonight or, for that matter, for the rest of the week. Here's a look out the window at Owensboro right now. It is dry at the moment. For the remainder of the evening, a few severe possible in western Kentucky. That was earlier, but you can see now that the severe thunderstorm watch has been dropped for western Kentucky. And not surprisingly, everything has pretty much moved out of all of our counties. We had some light to moderate rainfall in areas across southern Indiana and Illinois, and a few thunderstorms across western Kentucky. The good news is no more are moving in. So we are definitely done with any kind of hazardous weather threat for quite some time now. Temperatures have dropped. They're in the middle 60s, and we have basically just kind of a scattershot approach here to the rain overnight tonight and tomorrow. I think by noon and during the afternoon we will start to clear out. We should see temperatures recover pretty nicely into the mid to upper 60s. So just a little bit cooler than the typical for this time of the year. On Thursday we dry out again, and it'll be sunny. And then by Friday, or actually late Thursday night, early Friday, we might get a few more showers through here during the overnight hours and early before things then clear out for good as we move into the weekend. Our coolest day looks like it'll be Saturday, only up to 62, and we will have lows in the low 40s. Then we start that warming trend going into next week, and that'll bring us some warmer temperatures as well. We're at 64 at Evansville right now, and our low today got down to 62. That was right after the thunderstorms rolled through, and then 73 turned out to be the high for the day, which actually is normal. Our low this morning a bit cooler. We are 15 degrees cooler than we were yesterday at this time, and our low was warmer than normal. Our high was right on the money there. The calendar filled up here with 80-degree days in April. Quite a few of them, almost half of the days were in the 80s, and that means that our average temperature very warm so far for the month. We're still at about 50% of the normal rainfall for the month. However, if things stay on track, now keep in mind what is today, the 28th, so we got the 29th and the 30th, 2 more days, that could pull this average temperature down a bit, but we are pretty far above 2017, which is in second place. And this would be the warmest April on record at Evansville since 1897 when the record began. So that is not surprising given how warm it's been, but unusual as well. All right, looking at the bigger picture here, you see that complex of showers and storms moving to the east. Really not many watches or warnings, I should say warnings on that at all. Low pressure will continue to drive the rain to our east and allow high pressure to sink in and bring down that drier air and continue the clearing process for us, other than those scattered showers late Thursday night and early Friday. The weekend looks really good, actually. Saturday and Sunday, both sunny, with winds then turning to the southwest by Sunday night. And on Monday, we could have some rain in here. And again, Tuesday and Wednesday, showers and maybe some thunderstorms possible as we warm things back up next week. The rain potential, at least on the GFS model, going all the way up through Wednesday, brings us maybe another half inch or so. And again, that's just a spitball number, the average there across the area. The European model also keeping us dry through the weekend and bringing some scattered rain in for the start of the week, and then more widespread rainfall Monday and again Wednesday. So both models advertising at least more rain next week. And curiously, the rain potential a little bit higher there on the European model with about an inch, and that's over a 7-day period. 57 tonight, the high tomorrow gets up to 68, and then over the next 7 days, temperatures are going to basically warm back to where they should be by early next week. And the temperature outlook, at least through the first weekend of May, keeps us cooler than normal and drier than normal. Not a lot of moisture in the atmosphere then. I think we had Chrome and Princess on last time I talked to you, which was, when was that? Last Wednesday. I've been taking some days off here when I can get them. And of course, we didn't have the stream show last night. We were actually on the air with severe weather coverage. So, but do keep your pet pics coming in. I'll get in there and retrieve them hopefully soon. I know William Raleigh has sent me a whole set, and I just need to pull them in. I've been working on a side project back there, and I didn't get to it. I need to put a string around my finger to remember these things. Okay, before, or actually we'll kind of meld Science Corner and sort of Saturday morning quarterback discussion of yesterday's severe weather event here in a minute. Let me get your questions, comments up here if there are any. Hopefully I triggered the thing. It's going out, so let me see here. We'll do it this way. All right. And, okay. I'm getting there. There we are. All right. Well, we have a few of you in there. A few comments coming in right now. Okay, what do we have here? Suzanne Daly. Oh, good. We got the regular family is here to start out. Ricky Brown. Hey, Ricky, how are you? Cheyenne Hammonds. Good evening. No rain bomb tonight, Jeff Miller. Jeff Miller wants me to do a thing on wet microbursts. And like the pet pics, it's on the back burner right now, Jeff. Not forgotten, just cooling while I'm stirring some other pots up here. Sergeant Williams, good evening. Hey, Sarge. William Raleigh, inch and 54 hundredths yesterday. Jeanette Rice says good evening. And Holly Mason, just getting on. Has weather report for overnight been given yet? More or less. The rain will end and it will cool into the upper 50s overnight, okay? So yesterday, let's talk a little bit about that. You know, leading up to it, and actually day of, it was really looking concerning. There were a number of things showing, not only in the models, but in the actual atmosphere that were pretty scary for yesterday. And one of them was a lot of wind shear aloft. The other was very unstable air, potentially at the surface. And of course the cold front, the lifting mechanism. So we had all the elements you would need for what should have been a major severe weather outbreak. And what happened was yesterday morning, as many of you know, we had rain, right? We had showers, thunderstorms, and these showers and storms persisted a lot longer than even our models were showing. And what that did is it stabilized the atmosphere, and we had an inversion. We had a little warm air, or a cap, aloft, just off the surface. And that thin layer of warm air over cooler, relatively cooler air, because remember the sun didn't come out to warm up the surface so these showers and storms could punch through the cap. So the cap held. And we had virtually no severe weather, you know, through the afternoon. Then as the evening came in, and that squall line came in from St. Louis, you know, or from the west, all four of us were here. We were ready, you know, thinking, okay, this is going to be it. The cap is going to break. We're going to have, you know, tornadoes everywhere and the whole thing. And we had messaged that way that a, you know, severe weather or tornado outbreak was likely. And then it didn't happen. Now, we did have a couple of tornadoes. We had wind damage, some hail earlier in the day, but overall, we dodged a bullet because of the cap. But the frustration, I guess, if you're standing in my shoes, is if I've prepared you for this big event and it doesn't come, you know, that hurts a little bit because you want to be right about these things. But, you know, the weather is going to be the weather, and all four of us were scratching our heads yesterday. It's like, what in the world? But we knew when that rain happened in the morning that would jeopardize it. And one thing we've talked about featuring more when we have these bigger events possible is to talk a little bit more about what could go wrong or why it wouldn't happen. And I think we get so caught up in alerting you and making sure you're going to be prepared and have a place to go and all that stuff. We don't mention the fine print, which I guess everybody kind of knows that, you know, it might go the other way, it might not happen. So anyway, we are, you know, continuing, we learn it from every storm. We did get tornadoes, though. Fortunately, they were relatively small and short-tracked. We had one in Ohio County here, about 6 or 5 miles to the northeast of Hartford here, just across the Natcher Parkway. And it had a wind speed of 100. I think it took a roof off of a house there, and there was some tree and power line damage. And then we had an EF0 with 85-mile-per-hour winds near Jewel City, which is kind of right here on the border between, this is the top of Hancock County here, and that's McLean County. So you see Calhoun over here, Poverty, Aunton, and Jewel City. And this tornado was on the ground 3.2 miles. It was 50 yards wide. You can understand why that would be extremely hard to see on the radar from maybe more than one scan, one volume scan. And that's the bane, of course, of everybody's existence, are these very small spin-up tornadoes that are hard to predict, right? It's not like a big, signature on the radar that we can draw a line and say, here's where it's going. So all in all, we've had 2 tornadoes here for the season, and they were both in western Kentucky with last night's storm. So we did get tornadoes, and fortunately not to the extent that we were worried about or concerned about yesterday. The survey process I've talked about before, and it continues. I think they have another survey crew going up into northern Wayne County, up around Sisney. And they use all of these different tools and techniques to figure out, the track, the time, the magnitude of the storm, the damage and everything, and then that data is quality controlled and released to the public. And so the Weather Service at Louisville and Paducah were able to turn that information around very quickly, and we had those storm tracks less than 24 hours after the event. So anyhow, just a little kind of post-mortem on yesterday's storms. Laura Gray's watching. Well, Dawson Springs, you had thunderstorms this evening, so you got a little more rain. Hopefully we've put a dent in the drought over western Kentucky. Jesse Sebring, looks like heavy rain tonight, tomorrow, and all weekend too. No, I don't think heavy rain all weekend. I think after the rain moves out tonight, we will be drier and cooler too. Holly Mason, wondering the same. I see we're expecting heavy thunderstorm and let him be able to sleep. Yeah, those thunderstorms tonight are waning very quickly, so I don't think that's going to be an issue either. Let's see, Jesse Sebring, good evening. How bad looking today, tomorrow, weather, any more tornadoes? No. We are done with tornadoes and done really with rain after the stuff that's in western Kentucky moves out. So anyway, there we are with another weather show complete. I will be on 14 News at 10 here. We're not interrupting any ball games tonight. We will be on right at 10 p.m. So I appreciate you watching here tonight and always, and we will see you at 10. Stay safe. Thanks for watching.